from the horizon. Blackbead Casel. It's a nice place. They got a nice pool. Nice opening. This is what it looks like here. Blackbead Casel. It's Blackbead Casel here. Nice. Nice. Time it caught on. Nice place. Yeah. Oh. This is nice. Nice. The view from up here is spectacular, man. It's called Blackbead Casel. Up on these hills, man. You've seen it. If you get a chance, you come up here at Blackbead Casel, man. They got the works up here. You from Blackbead Casel here in St. Thomas. One of the most spectacular view you have. One of the most spectacular view you have of Charlotte, Tamale is from Blackbead Casel here on St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, looking into Garden Street, Castle Island in the distance. You gotta come and see it. One of the places you want to come on video shoot here if you really want something. Yeah, I'm at Blackbead Casel today. Viewing the beautiful scenery. I'm gonna go up to that tower, the tower up there, see what I can actually capture up in that tower and get a spectacular view of the harbor from that area, flying up on the hill up there. But anyway, I'm at Blackbead Casel today, enjoying all the amenity that Blackbead Casel, go ahead, Blackbead Casel have to offer. And I'm doing it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that, but anyway, this is what we call here. By the time the guy catch on, I'll be out of here promoting my island. I'm promoting my island. How you doing, man?
I would have had my hair done if I'd known.
I know, man. Anyway, I'm promoting this beautiful place up here called Blackbead Casel. And if you have a chance, come up here and participate in it, because you won't be remiss if you come out here and take a beautiful picture. Blackbead Casel today. And my pair, not shooting the kids, but shooting the area here of Blackbead Casel up in the hill. Tell him, I know there have to be some Afrocentric people here as pirates here in the Caribbean. This Afrocentric guy right here, I know that. You know, I'm happy what it did here in Blackbead. They actually, Blackbead Casel, they symbolize all the people who was pirates. They don't care who ethnicity was, but they symbolize them here in up here in Blackbead Casel, St. Thomas. So, if you ever get this opportunity, spectacular view of St. Thomas Harbor, you come up to Blackbead Casel Sugar Mill, and you will have a 360 degrees view of this marvelous harbor with no obstruction of our telephone line. Everything is in your pro view from this angle here in, from the towers of Blackbead Casel. There's another one over there called Blackbead Casel to come. This is a view to crave for here. I ain't seen nothing like it in my travel around the island. This one is the best 360 degrees view. You can even set up your camera. This is a 360 degree shot of actually Charlotte Mali in its distinctive beauty, see? You can see the harbor. You can see everything from this perspective. You can see the new highway, Haven site, a little bit of Haven site. But this is spectacular. You come up here and you must come here if you have the opportunity to see St. Thomas in its entity right here, 360 degrees from here at Blackbead Casel. I call it overlook. It's the overlook. Anyway, this is it. This is the place to come and see. Sugar Estate. Fort Christian right there in the distance, overlooking the legislature building. And Blackbead had a distinctive view of the harbor. And he depicts all the different ethnicity travel with him. And it's the first time I've seen it happen because I went up to Mountain Top and they didn't do the same thing. So I'm happy that whoever designed Blackbead Casel Pirates actually show all the people ethnicity that actually contribute to that era of piracy in the Caribbean. Blackbead had a large contingency of Afrocentric people with him. And Quebec going across the border is distinctive because... Go ahead.
Here for a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It's distinctive for its beauty. You know what I'm saying? And it's French and English language, right?
Sure.
So a lot
more languages now.
Yeah, and actually a lot of Jamaicans went to Canada.
Jamaicans too, eh?
A lot of Jamaicans went to Canada, correct?
Yeah, there's some great. I live in London, so that's about an hour from Detroit.
Yeah.
And
go
lots
ahead.
of Jamaican restaurants there.
Yeah. and what happened? Detroit. I went to Detroit too, right? Because I got some family memory, right? And when you came back across the border, it's like night and day. So I said, how come Canada can be so clean, right? And what happened to you guys? You know what it said? Somebody need a job. They got to pick up the people pollute and people pick up. But I said, Canada, people pollute there, but Canada never let us stay on the ground.
Well, there's laws against it, and service clubs like Rotary, Kinsman, that type of thing, they'll take a weekend and go clean up all the highways and everything.
I got you. That's why it's clean. Volunteers.
They'll
Okay.
take ownership for a certain section.
I got you. I got you. Huh?
Where did you go to Toronto?
I went to Toronto and I went. What I did, I took my family on rendezvous vacation, and we left Illinois, Wisconsin, drove all the way up.
Nice.
Niagara Falls, and from Niagara Falls we shot into Toronto. And I'm saying because the whole concept is that you want to see the beauty, but you want your family to see it too.
Sure.
So that's how I got in Canada, because I'm an adventurous person. And I teach my children and my family to be adventurous. So when they grow up, guess what they did?
Nice.
They went to Canada.
So where are you from?
My neighbor string is here.
Oh, okay.
But like what happened after 17 years of observing all this beauty, right? And all the people coming in, right? Guess what? I decided to find out what it's like, where it's from. So after 17 years of my distinctive young life, I migrated to all over the United States and all over the world, because I was in the Navy too.
Oh, okay.
So I've seen a whole lot. So that's what makes it distinctive to me, you know what I'm saying? Because the beauty of life is to, and then I spend my time now, because you know there's a national park there too, right? In Canada, right? That's a beautiful shot there. Look at it.
Where's Stu?
Yeah.
Where's Stu?
The story behind Blackbead Casel. What is it anyway? Why is it? Hey brother, you know the story behind Blackbead Casel? Can you interpret this place? Or him? You? Hey man, yo, what's the story behind Blackbead Casel from a historical perspective? Talk to me.
No, I don't know nothing about the history. You know, there is a guy, his name is Tony.
Look here, brother. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Rowan.
I'm gonna give you a prime example of life, right? Okay. I'm not criticizing you, right? Wherever you at, right? Your concept is understand where you at. Because someone gonna ask you the question like me, right? What is the inception of what? Blackbead Casel. And you never say again, well, you know, I don't know. I just work here, ask Tony. But you're gonna do your research, right? And you're gonna come back to me and you're gonna say, well, look here. Blackbead Casel actually was a vista, right? For the pirates, right? Who plunder what? The Caribbean, right? Capturing ship. Because there was who? There was mercenaries. For who? Who were the mercenaries for? Let me see if you know. You know the word mercenary? Okay, the English hired them as mercenary because they was busy fighting an opponent. So they need another form of people to carry out a duty, right? And they hired them to rob banks.
I use the only thing I know about Blackbead. I know that he has 18 wives.
18 wives.
Yes.
Okay, 18 wives, right?
Yes.
That's me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
He said Blackbead had 18 wives, right? Okay, watch it.
I'm so glad I told you.
Yeah.
He's building a thing.
Okay, go ahead.
18. He said
18 wives, right? So you know one thing distinctive I like about this depiction up here. I went to Mountain Top, right? And it wasn't true in the depiction of piracy in the Caribbean, right? What was missing up there? That's hair. What was missing in Mountain Top depiction of pirates in the Caribbean? What was missing? Afrocentrics. They was part of those pirates that came true, but they're not showing them in up in Mountain Top. So I went to the manager and said, well, how come you don't have the Afrocentric people as pirates? And when I got up here, I was happy because look, that's Afrocentric, right?
Yeah.
When I use that word Afrocentric, you know what I'm talking about? What I'm talking about, people of this different color.
Ah, okay.
You see, they don't have to be dark like me. They can be light. They're still Afrocentric.
Okay.
So I use that broad sense to coin them as Afrocentric. I don't say black anymore. I don't say white anymore. I say Caucasian Afrocentric. But anyway, look it up and find out exactly what was distinctive about Blackbead and why he chose this particular site to observation post. Look it up, okay? And when you come back, let me know.
Okay.
All right, man, thanks. I don't see no plaque, though, that's saying, but anyway, this is, what makes it unique is that the place telling a true story. True story is that, I don't know which one is Blackbead, but here is the actually pirates, Afrocentric pirates that accommodate Blackbead in his journey in plundering their opponent's ship, or banks we want to call them, and take it back to England. They was hired as what we call mercenaries to attack all their adversary, the Spaniards, the French, and capture their ship and take it back to England because actually it was robbing the banks of Spain, Portugal, and France because they was busy fighting them with a military. So they hired this mercenary called Blackbead and Bluebeard and Sir Francis Drake. What do you think they call it Sir Francis Drake? Sir Francis Drake is a depiction of an English subject. So we have English subjects within this confine of the Virgin Island. In fact, it was strange because I was told it's the first place the English landed before they went to Jamestown. So if that's true, I can understand why some of the actually contribution and artifacts is representative of the British. So anyway, that's enough. Okay. So called Blackbeard. He seemed like he was a powerful guy, man. He seemed he was powerful. He have all this weapon on him. Look, dagger. He have 1, 2, 3, 4 guns. Then he have a musket. Then he have a sword. Another gun here. So this man comes armed to the T to do his job. Blackbeard. And I wonder why they call him Blackbeard, if his beard ever actually turned gray. I wonder if his beard actually ever turned gray in his lifespan. Call him Blackbeard, right? Anyway, this is the story of Blackbeard here in the U.S. Virgin Islands that I'm depicting here in my video. And I'm so actually happy because they represent all the Afrocentric people that actually fought in this particular war. See? Most of them was Afrocentric. Most of the fighters here in Blackbeard stuff was Afrocentric. Look at them. It was a fast battle, fast fighters here. Look at them. Afrocentric, Chinese. Look at the locks on that guy here. These was the people who actually fought with Blackbeard right here. See? This look like a female. She's a female. That's a male, but his makeup of infantry was distinguishable. It represents all aspects of our ethnicity during that era. Most pirates in the Caribbean, right, was hired as mercenaries.
Yes, he was.
To do what?
Okay, so I know he was a mercenary, but he also committed treason against the people that paid him to. It was Danish ships, I believe. It was England who paid him to kill Danish ships, and Danish paid him to do vice versa. So he was double pocketing each and every single one. He was basically for the people versus for himself.
Correct. And a lot of people don't know what you just told me, right? You see, the English, right, was busy fighting the we call the French, the Portuguese, right? And that's what happened, right? So they said we don't have no time for that, right? So we're gonna hire a mercenary, right?
And then when they get caught, they don't know anything about anything.
Right. And so, and then what happened? They used protection as the British Navy to allow these mercenaries to do exactly what they want to do with a promise that a bounty.
Had a decree.
Yeah, that bounty was going to come back to the one who protecting your share.
See? And like Maynard, so my last name is Maynard.
But you know what happened? You know what I'm happy about? I don't know if you've seen it, right? You ever been up to Mountain Top?
Once or twice, yeah.
Mountain Top do not depict the true story of piracy, right? What's happening here? I'm going to tell you what's happening here, right? I don't know who did it, right? But he depicts exactly all the ethnicity that actually participate in piracy, right? All Afrocentric, a lot of them, right? You will never see this up on Mountain Top. And I said to them, right? I said to them, look here, you're misrepresenting piracy in the Caribbean. All you have up there is a bunch of your people, but you ain't telling the true story.
Like Maynard was hired as a mercenary to kill Blackbeard for double-crossing certain people. Yes, that's Maynard.
Okay, Maynard.
Yes, and that's a woman. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
She was also hired as a mercenary. Jack Sparrow. He was actually a real pirate, but not a real pirate. But now he's more portrayed. But
okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Half of these pirates were actually portrayed to assassin Blackbeard.
Okay. They were supposed to kill Blackbeard because his double crossing.
Yeah.
Okay. He double crossed. So they were supposed to take him out. Okay? And they didn't do it, right?
No, because the story is Blackbeard is into black magic. So his black magic and his protections always serve the purpose against his enemies.
So how did Blackbeard finally die?
there's a story with a soul swapping thing. Someone stole his protection, or someone discovered the truth. It's several different stories.
Yeah. But you know, Blackbead wasn't the only person did that, right? You ever heard some called the Masons?
Yes, the Freemasons.
The
and
Freemasons, the
Masons.
same thing.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
it's like saying, okay,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're talking about, okay, same, let's stick with Masonry. But Masons, okay, Masons, they have their own protection. It's their
Right.
so-called, say, cult. So it's like a group of people.
Yeah.
You do me a favor, I do you a favor. It's like,
Right,
okay,
right,
like
right.
I'm talking to you right now. I need a favor from you. So
Yeah, yeah.
therefore, later on, and we get into a group, but our group is structured around elites.
The circle is not for everybody to be included.
Exactly, it's elites.
Elite, right. Okay.
So my circle is for the elite class.
Right.
The lower class may know about us.
Right, but you're not in the circle. Right.
So therefore, it's still a
Elite
folk
circle.
tale.
And that's why all the founders of America, right, was Masons. Because the Mason actually, I call...
Did you know the Rockefeller, the were
Yeah, same
the
thing.
first
Yeah.
free and
Yeah.
and the highest, and still the highest
Yeah,
Masons
yeah.
in
You
the
know
whole
why?
entire
Guess
world?
why? Guess why? I'm going to see if you know why. You see, you had to do something to become a Mason, right? If you're from a spiritual perspective, right? Satan said, right?
That's where
All
the
the-
Vatican comes in.
All the splendor of the world is mine, right? If you bow down, I'll give it to you, right?
The
So,
Vatican.
so most of these people, Viking was, you know
No,
who?
not Vatican. Vatican.
Vatican,
in
yeah,
Rome,
yeah, yeah.
So in Roman history,
That's who
the-
find.
The Vaticans are the elites above Masons. The Vaticans
Correct.
can say like, okay, like it's like saying, okay, we worship God,
Right,
but
right.
above God, no, okay, we worship. You can worship Zeus, Yamaya, wherever other spiritual, but above that, there is always God.
Yeah, and you ever come through me.
Exactly.
That's how the Catholicism
chain,
started.
yes.
Catholicism, how the Catholicism take a spin off of the Hebrews religion, right?
Catholics take a spin off of everyone's religion.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
put it into their own.
Yeah, but reason why I'm saying this, right? There was two kind of Rome. One was papal, right, and one was religious Rome, right? Papal, and one was political, right?
Exactly.
Papacy controlled the political. Okay, so what happened? What they discovered that they couldn't kill all the brothers who we call Semitic or Jews, right? So they said we're gonna adapt their religion, okay, and we're gonna spin it around for what we think is the religion supposed to be, right?
Exactly.
And we're gonna make it ours, right? So you have to come through us before you can worship the true God.
That goes for like, have you ever
Yeah.
watched the movie 400 BC?
No, I didn't watch a movie,
So
right?
basically, it's talking about that. Basically, so God came about and said, "You have to let my people be free." So he had a couple days to do. I think it was 7 days, and each day there was a plague upon his.
You're talking about Pharaoh, the plague
Yes,
of
there was a
yeah.
plague. He
Yeah, I
lost
know
his
that.
first
I know that
son.
story. Yeah.
Like every time he did not do so, and then when he did
Yeah,
so,
Pharaoh.
his
Yeah.
kingdom still did not flourish. It was deep because everyone that was there were slaves. There were
Right.
in poverty. There were peasants.
Let me bust your bubble here. In spite of the slavery in Egypt and the Semitic people, right? They also had slaves. You know that, right?
Yes.
The Semitic Jews had slaves.
Yes, everyone had slaves. 'Cause everyone
Okay. Okay.
decided that they're elites.
Okay,
so
I
there
got
was
you.
always a class of people,
Class.
Romans, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be,
Yeah.
and they always decide they're gonna have slaves.
Yeah. Okay.
Slavery
Okay.
has not just come about with
Right.
people, as they have been around.
Right, it's been around
before.
But what happened to us? We were selected and being imposed upon us for longevity because we were strong and powerful.
Yes.
That's why they choose us. And when it went over to African choosers, they choose us from a selective country for your skill. Builders.
Along the border.
Building, right? Building skill, agriculture skill.
And two, our own would also trade us.
Understand the
for
concept too?
materials and goods.
Yeah. And they even use how to outselect them. They even use shells as money to give to
You know, but not Canton class. There was two, a king and a prince, and they used to always capture different people from different villages.
Yeah.
To sell them to the Europeans.
That's correct.
And then one day they got captured
themselves. Right. Yeah. I heard about that story, right? Because what normally happens is that a man who wants wealth, right? He always gonna deceive you. They're gonna make you thinking you're getting over, right? Eventually coming for you next.
Exactly. No one is safe.
Right.
It's a hierarchy, and if you cannot stay in the mind with the hierarchy, you become prey.
You're correct. You're so knowledgeable, you know what I'm saying?
I love history.
You're like me. You
I
like
love
me.
history.
Because like I told, this a tall brother came by here, right? And I like stories, right? Because that's what I do. You can look at me, Leon Varlock, on YouTube, right? And I'm not showing you a picture because sometimes people don't want their face to be seen, right?
True.
So I have your dialogue, right?
Thank you.
In my composition, right? And my name is Leon. What's yours?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, right?
Aaliyah.
Oh, like the singer?
Yes.
Oh man, your mom picked a right name for you.
Yo no sé.
Aaliyah.
Yeah.
When I say Aaliyah, you have that distinctive Afrocentric.
So in my name in Hebrew actually means love.
Yeah. That's where Aaliyah got that from, right? So what I was saying, right? So he working here, right? I don't know what country he's from, right? And I asked him, what is the inception of Blackbead Casel, right? And he couldn't tell me. He trying to point me to somewhere else. I said, I bust his bubble. I said, look here, that's one thing you never do, right? If you go work or you go to a country, right? You find out the history. Because someone like me gonna ask you, and you don't want to sound dumb. And what you're doing for yourself, you're educating not only you, but you're educating those that you come in contact with.
Like my mom is from St. Kitts.
Yeah.
And in St. Kitts, Sandy Point was the first colonized village in St. Kitts, and that's where she's from.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's kind of strange. It's kind of strange, right? What you said that? I want to St. Kitts, right? I had a friend for 11 years. I used to go up on a boat to St. John, right? From St. Kitts. I used to work for the National Park System.
Oh, nice.
And her name was Paula Rogers, right? She was from Sandy Point.
See, everybody from Sandy Point.
Sandy Point. And I have to go there, right? To see what it was like, right? And took me up to Brimstone Hill. I wanted the first
Brimstone Hill, yes.
Yeah, the first black sand beach ever saw in the world was there. You understand?
You went to Black Rock?
Yeah. And what I discovered, this is what I discovered, right? Like I was saying, right? Is that most of the people who migrated from St. Kitts, Antigua, whatever it is, right? When they go back, they establish the entity in a particular locality in which the navel string is at, right? And in St. Kitts, where is it at?
In Sandy Point.
No.
Oh, actually it's in Boston.
No.
Where?
Bird Rock.
No.
It's up on the hill there.
Understandable. I understand what you're saying.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I'm saying the people who made it the fortune in the Virgin Island went back home, right? And they created a new suburb in St. Kitts.
I understand that, but there's several actually. There's several.
The major one.
There's several.
Okay, go tell me them. Tell me them.
Okay, so if you go to in Sandy Point, but you're going back in the back,
Okay.
There are people from here, people that moved from here from St. Kitts to England, and they're building up like their own communities. They're building their own apartments and stuff.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. So I missed out on that because
it really and truly it's all over. There's houses in St. Kitts that basically people left to go to England and never returned. The houses are still there, and people are still building new houses.
Yeah.
Because my grandma has her house there.
I run from Old Road, right? I run from them little cottage up there. When I went up there and I ran out, I used to jog, right? Ran into Old Road.
By Kitchen Hill?
Yeah. And I make it my responsibility to see all the St. Kitts, right?
So you want to hear a story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Grung, right? You have the school right there,
the
little school.
Yeah.
And you have the little cane field that used to be there. The story was a man, he lose at a domino game. He killed a man and buried him right in the cane field.
But you know the sad story I learned?
What?
I'm not putting down a woman, right? most of the conquerors conquer different ethnicity, right? It comes because of a woman falling in love with an opposite person, right?
Yes.
That's not really their ethnicity, right? So I read a plaque in St. Kitts. What is beautiful Afrocentric Indian woman, right? Fell in love with one of these
A colonizer.
yeah, colonizer, right?
Yeah.
And she betrayed, right? She betrayed her people, and they killed all the people, and actually eventually imprisoned her. It's the same thing like the woman in Virginia.
So, listen.
Yeah.
So, have you ever
Go
saw
ahead.
the movie Pocahontas? It's the old
Same
movie.
story.
It's exactly the same
story. But I'm saying they always go through. They always. I don't know why
Love
the
is
woman.
blind. Love does not
I don't know,
have
but
a color,
always,
or age, ethnicity.
but they always go
nothing.
through. They always go through this.
The oppositions. They always
The
go through
women,
the,
the sisters, the beautiful, and they fool them in such a way, believing that. You know what the sad part of it? In American history too, and Caribbean history too. Once they conquer you, right?
They take the women and children.
Yeah, and they put you. They don't have no more respect for those people.
Because if you cannot protect what you,
Yeah.
if you cannot protect what you gave birth to, what you,
and then
are
now,
there for, that's it.
they now, right? Who think that this person who they was helping was going to give him a certain privilege, right? He turn around and treat them so bad, right?
Because it was all a plot twist just to take
Right,
what they
right.
have and learn their resources.
Yeah, but the key here, I'm glad you said that, right? Because you're a historian like me, right? There is two type of people in the world, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? There are takers and givers, right?
It's true.
The whole concept of takers came from what we call this guy in the Bible. What was his name again? He was one of the Hebrews 10 tribe, right? And he didn't have enough land for his family, right? And he forged north, right? And he began to apostatize. So he went north and he changed and he became a different ethnicity called the Vikings, right? And from then he became takers. So that generation upon generation, right, possessed that taking mentality and how to do
That savage mentality.
yeah. And what happened to a taker, right? Most downfall of a ethnicity environment is that they are givers. You know what I'm saying? We call sharers. The Africans were sharers. The Native Americans were sharers. But the taker
With
exploit.
higher classes,
Right.
you believe you're getting up there.
Right.
But in actuality, you're not.
You're not. That's
the
correct.
thing. You're
Yeah.
trying to elevate through elite status.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the only way you can elevate is actually being elite, not through a status. A status
That's correct.
is something like I can be single today
Yeah.
and be married tomorrow.
That's correct.
It can change
Yeah.
overnight.
But you know what a failure is? Here's a failure, right? The person who's doing it to you, establishing a base. Okay? You looking at it as individual, right? But that person establishing a base. The base is strength. It means longevity, right? Eventually, a person who looking at individual, right? Once he kicked by the side, right? Nobody to replace him. But the other people who establishing the base, right? Once one of them kicked by the side, the base is going to be fall in place again.
It's like building. It's basically community and connections. Basically,
Yeah, and
I'm
that's-
gonna use you for
yeah,
what I need,
so
so
that's-
that I get a higher purpose for
So
someone else.
that's what happened to a lot of ethnicity who trying to either go up into management, go up into the world. You know what I'm saying? And they realize that you may think you pull yourself up by a bootstrap, but you didn't. Someone else had to help you, right? And once you get there, you need to build a base, right? Because eventually after you get a certain height, they're gonna kick the chair from underneath you. But if you build a broad base, right, someone gonna replace you.
Exactly, but
Okay.
mainly if you build your own foundation in a
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
as in like
Yeah.
you have your own connection.
Yeah.
You can go through your own elite. You can go through your own whatever.
That's
You
it.
can always leave. You can always leave whatever. And
Yes.
Go to the next.
Yeah, because you
you build your own base.
Yes, and they fail to do that. I've seen it too many times in a job industry.
It's always a friend of a friend of a friend of a
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
It's never, okay, I have the knowledge and key,
Right.
and I can also elevate through here and help you elevate and go on to somewhere else and elevate there as well.
Teach me, in other words, show me the key that you discover, right?
But with that as well, there's a lot of people in the version like gatekeep.
Huh? Gatekeepers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a chef and I am a pastry chef by trade as well. I teach my kids.
That's it. That's the
But
point.
there's a lot of people who don't teach.
That's the
because
point.
at the end of the day, you're taking money from me, you're taking credit from me, you're taking status from me.
Yeah.
And who wants something taken from them? But at the end of the day, you still want your legacy and you still want your product or whatever the case to live on way beyond your
But you know what I discovered about intelligent people? Most intelligent people want to share.
I share with my son.
No,
He's 7. So my son.
Listen real close what I'm saying, right? If I have made it up in a certain level in my professionalism, right? I'm not going to conceal the secret that I discover. I'm going to pass it on.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, because the reason that if I don't do that, then they may be struggling, but I have the key already. So why have them struggle and I already found it out?
Exactly.
See, once I share your vision and can articulate it from that perspective that you see it, and this is what I call it. Each one of us who in that particular realm have some called the gift of discernment.
Yes.
Okay? Everybody don't have it. The person who has the gift of discernment, they have this tendency of seeing it before it happened.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? They see it before it happened. So the move when God said to move because God showed it to them already.
A shift of prediction. Some people call it frequency. A frequency higher than what is known to a normal mind.
And everybody don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And if you have it, it's a gift that God gave to you, right? But not to actually conceal, but to share. I'm not saying you must go around saying I'm the most intelligent person.
No.
But what you're doing is that my whole concept in life is to engage people. But here's why. 'Cause I look at the world itself as what? A university. I'm a professor in it and a student in it, right?
I used to learn from Dr. Jean Emmanuel Gambres.
All right, I heard of him.
He used to teach my mom at UBI. I used to be in the classes all the time.
Yeah. That's how I learned how I became a historian. Back in my century, right? There was a woman named Miss Francis. She was the history teacher, right? And she said to me, Leon, I think I was in 11th grade, right? You don't know your history. So I enrolled in her class, right?
Always said that people without knowing their histories are people without a future.
Yeah.
So if you don't know your past, you have no future.
Once she exposed to me, even though you was reading all these things, she exposed to me who I am, right? From that period on, I began to do a lot of research. And research is not saying everything is true, right? That's why I was saying to you is that when I engage people, right, they have to repute what I say is right or wrong.
Have you ever did an ancestry DNA test? I did one for my son.
My daughter did it.
My son is basically European and white. He's basically a Viking with basically like 25%.
Yeah, my daughter did it we have the largest Facebook family tree called the Barlax, right? And she did that to make sure she was a true Barlax, right? And what happened to the Barlax through the years, as I traced them, they became, we call it, from the Danish ancestry who shipwrecked all the way down Afrocentric, right? But some of them, here's what some of them did, right? And I didn't know the data because I run around a lot of different color Barlack, and this woman said to me, Paul Barlack said to me, you're the darkest Barlack I ever met. But she was lying. You know why she was lying? Because when I went to where they actually originated from, I discovered is that great-great-grandfather was the same complexion of me, right?
That's funny.
And what happened? Back at my favorite spot here, Queen Mary and her band of warriors here. and St. Thomas Blackbead Casel. My favorite site here in the Blackbead Hill. Queen Mary, my favorite character here, represented here that liberate her people. As you can see, she has the machete, she has the torch. Beautiful Afrocentric woman. She said, we had enough of this stuff. So she took the revolution in hand and moved forward and defeat the Danish occupiers at a plantation in St. Croix. And that's where the Afrocentric was forced the Danish to give them their freedom. They had the intention of giving them the freedom, but this woman here, Queen Mary, is who makes it happen in a distinctive way. Day in February, I'm depicting this fabulous woman here, Queen Mary, who actually led the revolution against the Danish occupiers in St. Croix, and finally set her people free from the actually encampment of slavery. So I'm up at Blackbead Hill today, and one thing beautiful about Blackbead Hill Castle, there's a blackbeard named a pirate, but the people who actually create a statue create an Afrocentric type realism of who the people were who actually was with him. There was women, there were Afrocentric people, there was a lot of different ethnicity that made up the ranks of piracy in the Caribbean. And I'm applaud that, because sometimes people don't want to erase Afrocentric contribution to a period in history. So I'm up here actually appreciating those entire episodes that I see here on the place called Blackbead Hill, and Queen Mary is a star here on this hill, and this person who put this statue here, I applaud him or her, because it's supposed to be downtown, but they put it up here for a reason, you know. And most people should be seeing it downtown, Charlotte, Mali. But what normally happens when you're victorious, then they don't want to show you as victorious. They want to show you as submissive. But she was not submissive. She was victorious in her standing to oppose the occupation of St. Croix. And so they never put it downtown. But using the same type, she was using a machete and a torch, because she did it at night, and she burned down her master plantation to acquire, to make things happen for her people. Queen Mary from St. Croix. Mary Wilson was her name, a Danish name, Mary Wilson, or English.